Welcome to Ask AdWords. I'm Alex.
And I'm Joe.
So this week we got 3 more questions to answer from all the questions you sent in over social media. If you have any other questions that you'd like to be answered in the future, feel free just to leave a comment in this video or send us the question over social media using the hashtag AskAdWords. So let's get started with the first one, which comes in from June, who asks, can AdWords track the time when impressions and clicks happen?
Good question, June. So basically, if you were to go into your AdWords account and click on the Dimensions tab, and then you can view by day or month or actually hour of day. AdWords is only going to be able to break it down by hour of day. There will not be a way to actually go and see, okay, this keyword led to this ad and then was clicked on at 7:32 p.m. and 32 seconds. You'll only be able to see, okay, there was a click that appeared in the 7 p.m. time range. That's basically as drilled down as AdWords is actually going to allow it to see.
Yeah, you could do a little investigative work and cross-reference things to try
if
to
you wanted to.
And I always like to also plug Google Analytics. So also Google Analytics, free Google product which you can link to your AdWords account, will give you a lot of other great granular information about user behavior when they get to your websites, stuff like that. Still won't be able to tell you, this click came at this exact time, but it is a step in the right direction in terms of learning more about how users are behaving and interacting with your ad.
Awesome. Second question comes from Sean, and it reads, how do you increase your quality score?
This is a question we get a lot. So there's a lot of things you can do to improve your quality score, but for the purpose of trying to keep this relatively short, I just want to take a step back and have us kind of think about the reason we have quality score. The reason we have quality score in the system is to reward advertisers that give users a hyper relevant and specific experience to what they're searching for. So if you're running a shoe store, for example, and you have a website that has tons of different shoes, if someone's searching for one of the specific models of your shoes, if you can show them an ad that in the headline has the name of the model they typed in, and you can take them right to the part of your website that's contains just that model, then you're giving the user a really great experience. And the quality score is designed to reward advertisers that do that type of thing. So that's kind of, if you keep that in mind and you work towards that, you're generally going to see increased quality scores. But to break it down a little bit further, quality score pretty much is broken down to 3 major components. There's lots of components, but there's 3 major ones. One is click-through rate. So the higher the percentage of people that click on your ad, historically, or maybe potentially the system expects in the future, probably the more relevant your ad and your landing page is to the user's search, and that's kind of a vote of confidence from the users, and that can help with quality score. You want to be shooting for kind of like a 1% click-through rate in my experience.
It's a good benchmark.
Yeah, it's a good benchmark. Another component is ad relevancy. So you want to make sure that, like I mentioned before, that the ad that's being triggered is highly relevant to the keyword that the user triggered. So ideally, if the headline of the ad can match up with what the user searched for, you're going to be in a pretty good place. So make sure your ad groups are very tightly themed and that your campaign is broken up into very relevant and tightly grouped ad groups that trigger very relevant ads. The final thing is the landing page experience. So, is the landing page that the user goes to after they trigger your ad and click on it relevant to what they searched for? And that's where the whole, aspect of sending them to the most specific part of your website thing comes in. And there's also other components of that. If you have contact information, making sure that's clear and, upfront, making sure your business, purpose and model is very clear and transparent to the users, or some of the other things that go into that as well. So yeah, those are just kind of some general tips on quality score.
Very important though.
Yeah, it is important to keep in mind. There's a really good article in our help center if you just search for quality score that will break down a lot of that same stuff. So yeah, let's hop on down to the last question, which comes in from Kyle, who asks, is there any difference between keywords with plus signs in front of them and keywords in quotes if the phrase is only 1 word long?
So to answer your specific question, Kyle, no, there's not going to be a difference between a plus sign in front of one word and quotation marks in front of one word. So if you had the keyword shoes with a plus sign in front versus shoes with quotation marks in front, if someone types in shoes, your ad's going to show, or shoe, or if they misspell shoes or something like that. And just so you know, the plus sign refers to broad match modifier, the quotation marks refer to phrase match. If there are more than one word in the keyword match, so if it's like, red shoes, yes, quotation marks around it versus the plus sign is going to make a difference. In general, for those of you out there, I would really encourage you to look more in depth with match types. If you have a keyword like red shoes, are you comfortable with someone typing in red sneakers? Are you comfortable with them typing in shoes red? Do they have to type in exactly red shoes? Can they type in cheap red shoes? These are all questions that you need to answer for yourself, and then make sure that comes out in the different match types that you have set up in your keyword list. Thanks so much for watching this Ask AdWords episode. And if you have future questions, please feel free to use the hashtag AskAdWords on any social media site. We will take a look and maybe answer them. Have a good one.
Bye.